Ram fans. I'm your sports anchor, Tim McGraw. Oh, check that. It's Tim McCall. And here I am with all the latest in the world of Ram sports. The CSU volleyball season is winding down, but it's not too soon to start looking ahead to next season. Yesterday, head coach Tom Hilbert was excited to introduce the incoming freshman class for the 2017 season. 3 of the 4 new members of the Rams family, Maddie Fouts, Jenna Heimeyer, and Anna Dentry, are considered defensive specialists who will help the team from the backcourt. The remaining incoming freshman is 6'4" hitter Ellie Gubser. Gubser will add to the depth that CSU currently has up front, and because of this, she's expected to redshirt during her freshman year next season. However, once Gubser does crack the lineup, expect her exceptional size and skill to translate into big plays on the court for the Rams. In other CSU signing news, Rams women's tennis coach Jared Camerata also announced his first recruiting class since taking the position as women's tennis coach just a few months ago. Camerata was excited to announce that all 3 incoming recruits are 4-star recruits, and they figured to make an impact on this tennis team fairly early in their careers here at CSU. Emma Corwin, Emily Lutenschwager, and Priscilla Palmero were all standouts during their high school careers and are all familiar with each other, having grown up in the upper Midwest, which is the main recruiting area for the CSU tennis team. Palmero was the 2-time Wisconsin state champion for women's singles, and it appears that she will be a big difference maker on the tennis team next season. Although the news of these recruits is exciting, Rams fans will have to curb their enthusiasm for a little longer. The CSU tennis team will begin their current season this January without these 3 recruits, and will look to improve on their 5-15 record from last season. With the news of these 3 recruits and the talents that they possess, there is plenty of optimism surrounding the CSU tennis team. Make sure to follow this CSU tennis team this year in the Collegiate to see if they can find success and improve on last year's disappointing season. In CSU basketball news, on Tuesday, the men's basketball team played their final exhibition game before the beginning of the regular season. The game saw a Rams victory at the hands of Regis University. After a slow first half, the Rams only led by 5 points at halftime. However, they came out of the gate fast in the second half, jumping all over Regis and establishing a commanding lead. After dominating the first minutes of the second half, the Rams never looked back, grabbing the victory 75-60. The Rams were led by senior forward Emmanuel Amagbo, who finished with 16 points and was just 1 rebound away from a double-double. Redshirt freshman Nico Carvaco was also a large contributor, posting 9 points and 5 boards. Another exciting sight for CSU fans was that highly anticipated transfer Shea Bob was suited up and in action for this game. Bob, who has been dealing with a wrist injury over the course of the preseason, looks to be healthy and ready to go for the beginning of the season. The Rams will be back in action this Sunday as they kick off their season against New Mexico State at 2 p.m. in Moby Arena. Don't miss out on the start of what looks to be another promising season for CSU men's basketball. In CSU football news, the Rams will look to raise the Ram Falcon Trophy for the 3rd time in the last 4 years as they head to Colorado Springs to take on Air Force this Saturday. The Rams sit at 5-4 on the season, and a win this weekend would be one of the biggest wins of the year thus far for the Rams, as it would officially make them bowl eligible. CSU's offense will face a tall task this weekend, as Air Force currently owns the 19th ranked defense in the country. Quarterback Nick Stevens, in particular, will look to continue the strong season he has had since taking over for Colin Hill. Stevens has thrown for 8 touchdowns and completed just under 60% of his passes. Most important to Stevens' success is the fact that he's only thrown 2 interceptions all season. Turnovers are absolute killers on the offensive end, and Stevens' ability to avoid turnovers has led to his success thus far. Air Force, a team that has caused 14 turnovers on the defensive end this season, will look to disrupt Stevens' rhythm and force him out of his comfort zone. If CSU's offense is able to move the ball into the red zone, expect to see heavy doses of running back Izzy Matthews. Although Matthews does not lead the team in rushing yards, he does lead the Rams in rushing touchdowns with 8. It is clear that Coach Bobo has become comfortable with relying on Matthews over every other running back that he has to pound the ball into the end zone on a consistent basis. If Nick Stevens and Izzy Matthews can continue to lead the offense like they have over the past few weeks, expect CSU to roll this weekend and put themselves into position to make a bowl game this season. Don't miss a very important game for CSU football this weekend at Air Force at 8:15 on ESPNU. That's all we have for sports tonight, but stay tuned because next up, it's Emma Ionicone with entertainment.